One of my memories of childhood is singing. There were the lullabies and bedtime songs my mother sang to me. There were the folk songs I learned in school, and the hymns and children's choir anthems I learned in church. There were the carols we sang by candlelight on Christmas Eve. There were the songs we sang on the playground as we jumped rope. Miss Mary Mac, 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 all dressed in black, black, black. And the songs we sang on the school bus as we went on a class trip. Found a peanut, or on top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. There were the children's taunts to one another. Sally has a boyfriend, or just na 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 na. And there were the songs I just made up and sang to myself. Some I sang over and over again and remember to this day, like the song I used to sing to my first cat. And some I just improvised. I remember how I used to walk down the street singing to myself about the events of my day, how I was feeling, whether happy or sad, and what I was hoping and wishing and praying. I was completely oblivious to the fact that I might have looked silly to other people. I just kept singing my life, at least until I got old enough to worry what people thought. What I've described isn't unique to me. I was fortunate to grow up in a home surrounded by music, so singing was encouraged. But singing is a natural thing for children to do. At play, they do it unconsciously. Whether on the playground with others or alone in their room, children are often overheard putting the words of their play to music. They are singing their lives. As we grow older, we do that in more organized ways. Military troops sing as they march in steps together, their boots treading out the beat. Spirituals lightened the load of slaves as they worked and gave them hope for freedom. Freedom songs grew out of the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa. Protest songs fueled the civil rights movement in this country. And chants and songs continue to be a hallmark of protests today. Baseball fans, when they are allowed in the stadium, look forward to the seventh inning stretch singing, "Take me out to the ball game." And then there's church. Church is one of the few places where we truly sing our lives. Not just a few familiar songs, but different songs every week. Songs of praise and songs of lament. Songs of confident faith and songs that confess doubt and despair. Songs of irrepressible joy and songs of hushed wonder. Songs of simple melody and songs of complex harmony. Over the course of weeks, months, and a year, we sing the whole range of biblical faith and human experience. Here at South Church, singing is a huge part of who we are. It is one of the primary languages of worship for us. So it was devastating to learn back in May that scientists had discovered that singing is a super spreader of the coronavirus. I remember when Michelle told me about the 2.5-hour webinar for professional musicians she had attended, where they strongly recommended that community singing be halted until a vaccine has been developed and widely distributed. We could hardly comprehend what that would mean for the church. How can it be worship, I said, if we can't sing? It was a dark moment for musicians, pastors, and church members everywhere as we tried to comprehend not being able to sing our lives together. We just read a story from the Acts of the Apostles about a very dark moment for Paul and Silas. They had been thrown in prison. Why? Because they had healed a girl of the demon that possessed her. The girl was a slave who made her owners rich by fortune-telling. Paul cast out the evil spirit that gave her that ability, and the owners were furious. They hauled him before the authorities, who beat them and threw them almost literally under the jail. About midnight, the scripture says, they were singing, praying and singing. In the deepest, darkest part of the night, in the deepest, darkest cell in the prison, they were singing, and other prisoners were listening. Though the midnight hour was dark, they didn't grumble about the unfairness of what had happened to them. They didn't bargain with God. No. While Paul and Silas sat in darkness, bound by chains, they sang, they prayed, and they sang. Now we are living in a dark and difficult time. Not only have our lives and our whole society been turned upside down by a viral pandemic that continues to persist, but we are living in some of the most divisive times imaginable, as our widely differing life experiences based on economics, race, culture, politics, religious belief, and use of technology threaten to tear our country apart. And to top it all off, our ability to gather for mutual comfort and support has been severely limited, and our ability to sing together safely has been curtailed. So what do we do now? Now, when it feels like the songs we love to sing in church have been locked in prison by this virus, by our responsibility to keep one another safe, how do we sing our lives? Well, I think we do what Paul and Silas did, and what children do. We improvise. We continue to sing, just not together in the same room. Sometimes that will be through various kinds of technology. This last Wednesday was my birthday, and people found amazing and beautiful ways to make me feel celebrated. Not only were there decorations and gifts from the staff and the deacons, and Facebook and text messages galore, there were also 3 different instances of people singing me happy birthday. Lisa Nappy sang to me over the telephone. Susan Condren sent me a video of her singing to me. And the Bible study group sang to me all together on Zoom. It was beautiful, not in the way a perfectly crafted choir anthem or robustly sung hymn is beautiful, but in the soulful love it conveyed. Singing together will always be better than singing alone in my book. And I have to admit that I have more than once felt jealous of Michelle and Jonathan's family who can and do share so much beautiful singing together during this pandemic. Having grown up in a family that sang together, I do miss that. But I have found it quite moving to sing along with the hymns as I view the worship service on YouTube, especially because I know others are singing along in their homes too. It helps me to feel that we are united spiritually even while we are separated physically. And I have been deeply moved by hearing and watching and occasionally participating in the virtual choir pieces that are part of our online worship, seeing how individuals singing from their own homes can be woven together into one whole. Perhaps it gives us a glimpse of what God sees and hears as we each sing our own lives. Whether or not you participate in these technological ways of singing with others, I hope you are singing your life. I hope you are humming a tune as you do the dishes, or tapping your foot as you hear a song with a great beat on the radio, or belting out a song from your favorite playlist. And if singing isn't your thing, then I hope you are tuning your ear to the music around you and the music within you. Even in that way, you can sing your life. One of Ron's favorite memories as a father happened when our girls were 3 years old. It was a windy spring day. The rushing wind made the wind chime on our deck sing a chaotic song, and Lydia, the dancer, asked, "Daddy, may I go out and dance with the wind?" "Sure, have fun," he said. He stood amazed as he watched her swirl and twirl, dancing with the wind to a song that only she could hear. Lydia did not sing as she danced with the wind. Rather, she flowed in rhythm to an endless song carried on the wind. And it was as clear in her head as if a choir of thousands were singing it. My life flows on in endless song, above earth's lamentation. I hear the clear, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. No storm can shake my inmost calm when to that rock I'm clinging, since love is Lord of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, and love will always be Lord of heaven and earth, every time the wind blows, it will carry our song. We look forward to the day when we will again be able to sing our lives together with gusto. But until then, we can be like children, learning to improvise, listening to the song in our heart and dancing with the wind.
My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the clear, though far off hymn that hails a new creation.
No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing?
Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing.
It finds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing?
No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing?
What though my joys and comfort die? I know my Savior liveth.
What though the darkness gather round, songs in the night He giveth.
No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging.
Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing?
The peace of Christ makes fresh my heart, a fountain ever springing. All things are mine since I am His. How can I keep from singing?
No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to the rock I'm clinging. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing?
Since love is Lord of heaven and earth,
How can I keep from singing?
how can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing? You do it.
How can I keep from singing?
Nice.
How can I keep from singing?
That's about the 65th time I've done that. I'm not even going to listen to it. Take 3. Hey, I'm getting better at this.